Since I was a little girl, I've always been interested in the paranormal. And when I was 4, I was standing at my window, and in my bedroom, I was standing at my window and talking to somebody. My mom walks in, who are you, and was like, who are you talking to? And I said, Aunt Issa. Well, my mom has a sister named Lisa who died when she was almost 4 in 1973. And nobody ever told me about her. And then I ended up seeing her. I was about 4, I think. I was about 4. And they were just like, wow, my mom, my grandparents, wow. And then as I grew older, I started developing these abilities where I could see things that other people couldn't. Then whenever I was, I want to say like 16, 17, 18, those years, I guess, I would have these dreams where people would either die or they were in some sort of accident and they got hurt, like real bad. And I didn't know what those dreams meant. But then a few days later, I would either hear about it on the news, or read about it in the paper, about something about what I dreamt of, about that actually happening. And like, I wish that I knew that it meant something earlier, because then if it was local, I could have tried to stop it or something. But I don't know. It's just having this ability is pretty cool, I guess. And that totally just sounded like I said disability. Having this ability, there we go, is pretty cool, I guess. I have been lucky enough, knock on wood, to not have seen anything dark. And let's just hope it stays that way. One night I was sitting on my bed, and at the foot of my bed there was I saw this mist. But in the mist, it was like the form of a body, kind of, sort of. And I look at it, and it's a little blonde girl. You can tell it's a little blonde girl, and she was wearing a blue dress. And I told my mom about it, and she didn't know who it was. Like, this little girl, she just walked across my room pretty much into the wall, and, she disappeared. But I haven't seen her since, but, I told my mom about her. She didn't know who it was, and I told my grandma. She's like, oh my gosh. And then my mom and I were like, what? And then she's like, that's exactly what Lisa was buried in. My mom and I were like, whoa. Excuse me. Yeah, I believe everybody has that ability, but just not everybody chooses to believe that they have it. And I know that there are some people that are completely skeptical about paranormal, and I mean, that's your choice, but I truly believe in it. I believe in the afterlife. I believe in heaven and hell. And, it's just, one of these days, we're all going to die someday, and then maybe, this is going to sound really weird, but I guess one day we're going to die, and then there are going to be younger people who are interested in the paranormal, and maybe they would pick up or see our spirits. And it's just, like a never-ending cycle. I think it's really cool how that goes. And yeah. There are so many things. Like at my grandma's house, her house, like I had mentioned in a previous video, is almost 300 years old. It's an old farmhouse. And that house is loaded with spirits. I'm sorry if you're watching this, Nini, but I'm just saying it. That's my grandma. I call her Nini. Whenever I was younger, I couldn't say grandma, so I just said Nini. And it's been that way ever since. But anyway, her house is loaded with spirits. One time, I was like 16. I was taking pictures, and there was this orb behind me, and we didn't know if it was just dust or an orb or whatever. But then we zoomed in, and like we put the card in the computer, we zoomed in, yeah, blah blah blah. And then the orb, it had red hair, and it had, I think it had glasses. And lo and behold, that's exactly what my mom's grandma looked like, my grandpa's mom. That's exactly what she looked like. And that was originally their house. So, and then I had caught this other orb, and I zoomed in on it, and it was the shape of a dog's head, and you could like all the details. My mom's dog Molly died in 2003. She had cancer, and she had to be put down in 2003. She was born in 1989 and that died in 2003. So that was a pretty long life, you know? And it's just amazing because the exact details of Molly's face were in that orb. I wish I still had the pictures because I would totally put them up. But I don't know whatever happened to them. They might be on the disc somewhere, I'm not sure. But it's just amazing what you can catch in pictures and stuff. It's just, wow. And like I said, my grandma's house used to be an old farmhouse. And like I said, there are spirits loaded there. And know that even once you pass away, your spirit lingers on. If that makes any sense. I just think it's really cool. Yeah. Well, I guess I'm going to end this here. So, yeah. Bye.